So, hello guys. Um, Welcome back. Today today we're gonna talk about license and copyright to be exact. So, some of you might recognize the Adobe, the Adobe shop. You know the Adobe Corporation who made the software like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe. Uh, Adobe After Effects or I don't know some more like many of the software you you, use to make digital creative work. I think one of them is the Adobe Photoshop. Back then I used to uh, like to use that software. So anyway, back to our topic. So regarding the Adobe recent lawsuit, this is because Adobe were accused for misusing author copyright works. It basically mean they are spying, or you could say they are copying your artwork for their AI training database. So that's what happened here. This is in public, public model stuff. What's mentioned here. So other than that, and many people are talk about this. And well, I don't really use Adobe anymore. If you wondering, because at the first thing that I have to tell you is that Adobe software were very heavy and resource consuming. Okay, so if you using Adobe software for such creative work and you don't have like a very late or strong hardware component for the designing or creative work task, so it will be very resource consuming. So and yeah, the experience that I got when running Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator is lagging. Yeah, you can say that. Uh, when I try to do certain things and begin to like half of finishing the project, and suddenly it's gone. Okay, it just stopped working and my work is gone. So this is just one of the example of company doing bad things to you. So don't really take my word like for it. Um, take it as a grain of salt. Okay, so back to the license. Many of you seen like the software license for, especially for the Linux community. I mean, I use Linux a lot. It just it's not really compatible for me, at least today. So I don't use Linux that often. Okay, so about the copyright, there's many kind for the Linux community software like copyright here. Some of them will let you do so many things, and some of them does not let you do certain thing, and some just quite very restrictive, so it doesn't let you do something at all. Just using it, you can set it. So not every open source software will allow you to just do whatever you want. No, that's not how it works. Okay, so anyway, talk about the license. This is just open source license for mostly the Linux part or Linux software we will often see when you're using Linux. So Anyway, next. Okay, this license called Creative Commons. Yeah. So in short, it be called CC license, stand for Creative Commons. Okay. So uh, the CC license usually when it used to be easily found in some video on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, like you just say, I just like find something here. So as Creative Commons license is basically you're allowing people to do something about your work, like modifying those, like using it in your other videos. Let's say I'm gonna try to find something. Trees. Okay, so let me just search fast. Let's filter that. Just best Creative Commons. So that's the easiest way to find certain video. Okay, just make sure and then check one of them. Okay, just pause that. And when you drag, scroll down, you will see the license here. There is the license Creative Commons reuse allowed. So it's allow you to use this video in your other video. So I'm not gonna get any copyright for showing you this. Okay, just not possible that way. Just not cool. So uh, there's also license that allow you to use copyrighted material. However, it's limited usage called fair use, but I never really want to use that kind of how do I say it? Not exactly license, but permission to not ask for permission. Yeah, in nutshell, you can say that. So let me type. Let's say fair use. Okay, there is one. So basically, it's a limitation. Okay, it's into the click right grant of copyright. So basically, it's letting you to use copyrighted material where permission from the copyright for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. So this is basically for something like the YouTuber who just doing commentary stuff. Yeah, something like reaction video. Yeah, you see them a lot. So that's what they are doing. They use the fair use term. The problem is that not everyone happy with it. So let's say you use like one of my video and I see your video and somehow I didn't like it what you're doing with my video. This fair use could be how do I say it? Could be not applied to you. So you could still get copyright strike by others. And I find myself in such situation. Okay, so that's why I never stealing someone artwork or video or something like that. Even if that's bring me more subscriber or something. No, I just stick with my niche audience. Okay. This. Okay. So about copyright, other things that we have is I'm not talking about commercial copyright here. So more into a free commercial or something that give you freedom because most commercial license were common, so it's not that hard for you to find. Okay. one of the license that I like really a lot, so it would be royalty free. So the royalty free basically, in short, you can find someone else work and you don't have to pay for it. Like, well, maybe some ask you to pay, but it's only once, and after that you can do like whatever you want with it. Usually you find this in music, so you find the music you like and you want to put it in the your video. Let's say the video, okay, okay. So after the video were uploaded in YouTube, it's the you don't own the music still, but you don't have to share revenue to anyone. That's the best part of it. I think some of music out there like the copyright music do this. Yeah. Some I think let's see something else. Okay. So about license, yeah, this is the mention that the different type of Creative Commons license. It mostly like this. It allow you some to do certain things like this one. This one allow you to share, and this one doesn't allow you to do commercial use. Basically, you are not allowed to sell to others. Okay. So this CC0 mean it's basically you don't want to put any copyright in there. Basically, you are handing out everything in the plate, and you don't want to have anything to do with it. Copyright, I mean copyleft. This one, it's mentioned like practice common common software like in public instance. Basically, uh, they are advocating for software to remain free and open source. They are trying their best not to let the software become the software become commercial. Yeah, and so commercial license. Yeah, like I mentioned, this was before. This license, there's many kind of it, and I don't really remember all of them. I don't even want to find out because when you look for this commercial license is most likely something you gotta have a trouble dealing with later on. But everyone have their rights. So if you want to someday like sell your artworks or digital creative goods or something like that, you can just put commercial license. So about back about license, most of the tools I own are very mostly open source, I could say. I mean, if you check like my desktop here, okay, there's so much. Like I can confidently say to you, like most of these were freeware, if not open source. Okay, it's VS Codium, so it's the alternative for V- Visual Basic Studio Code from Microsoft. So the reason I didn't use that because, well, Microsoft, they don't really like you doing things with them, and especially the commercial part. Okay. Yeah, and also I have some. Uh, this is the another game engine that I have, CopperCube. It's available on Steam, and it is said that I can use it however I want to create certain game, something like that. But anyway, let's return back. And so the reason why I'm telling you about license right now, because when I see what they're doing in the latest 2026, people was just, I don't know, more like company, or many people just, let's say they are more greedy and aiming for more monopoly instead of getting more creative and healthy competition. It's the same thing that happened with the Stop Killing Games movement. And also to mention, there's these things that you see in the internet. I think it was posted by IMF or something like that. No, I'm thinking WTC or World Trade Center. No, no, I forgot. Let's just find the video. Okay, I think should be okay. So that's the title. Yeah, the Great Reset. What they say. That's where's the video? I couldn't find it. Oh, there it is. World Economy. We have. Uh, so I need to find the original video. Okay, I think this is one. Just watch it. See, they say clearly that you will own nothing and you will be happy. But let's just comment about that later on. Let's just watch. This this is actually kinda, how do I say it? Futuristic, yes, but it's being delivered by drone. Like how many things can be actually delivered by drone? I I like to question that. Like, let's say I buying a fridge. So will it be flying up to the sky and deliver it to my house, or will they, back some kind of RC cars and put it in front of my door? I don't know. Like, I mean, I did not reject this kind of technology. It just I couldn't really sure about the appliance for this, because there's many cases of uh, okay, vending machine failed. So I will show you that later. So, but let's just what, okay, let's continue. Okay, this the statement for we want transplant organ. We will print a new one instead. Okay, that's, how do I say it? I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't really judge. But if I have to give a subjective subjective comment about this, I'm kind of worried, because what if this organ somehow affect other organs? Okay, but just maybe there's some kind of prevention there is, but I am not a doctor. Okay, so I don't know. So someone who might be more special can explain this. Okay, let's continue. Yes. Okay, that's it. Let's go back from the beginning. Okay, so this is part you said you eat much less meat. Like, what does that supposed to mean? Okay, not everyone was vegan or vegetarian. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, why do we have to eat less much meat? I mean, like, is meat bad? No, it has many protein, and most of you would like it. Okay, we can also reproduce meat. Like, is that really much of a problem? Okay, maybe we're thinking about the methane gas or something that were being released up to the environment. But well, if only they are willing to plant more trees around instead of cutting, like deforesting the entire land, that will likely solve the problem with the meat industry. Okay, it's not that simple. Just theoretically, so I'm just saying that theoretically you can solve this meat problem. Okay, so on the second part, equation treat not a staple. I don't really understand exactly what they implying to. So let's just continue from here. A billion people will be displaced by climate change. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by displaced by climate change. Does it mean we are heading to the more bad side rather than the good side part of the world in the future? Well, if I think about climate change, well, the climate always change. Okay, that's not a good argument. So when talk about climate change, if you think about the Asian, which is very hot countries, hot areas of the nation, it's really hot in Indonesia here. So the things is instead of thinking about uh, like really fighting the nature, we think about finding the solution to prevent the damage. You couldn't really like change how the nature behaves. Like, what are you, a geoengineer? Even if you engineer wouldn't do something like keep pushing nature to the exact this is to do exactly like what they want. Okay, even geoengineering require like cost many expense. Not only that, they are just kind of sowing seeds. So it's not like precise or something will happen exactly like what you expect to be. No, we don't have a weather control device. That's a lie. Okay, that's a conspiracy theory. Now we talk about we have to do a better job at recommend integrating refugees. Okay, the part about refugees, this is the problem with the refugees. They are people who come from faraway land. Okay, let's just say it that way. Um, if you think the common way people think, refugees are people who decide to flee from their own lands to seek shelter or better life in somewhere else. So if let's say the place they are came from were lack of resource, let's say there is no water in there. There's no animal to hunt. There's no uh, food lack of food. It's not fertile ground, or there's common disaster. You can say it common disaster. So making a housing would be not good in there. So they decided to flee to other place. The problem is that if we become like politician and you find out there are people who come as refugees, if you in need of people, that's good sign. The problem is that if you are overcrowded nation, that's the problem. Not only that, your people also need job, also need food, also need resource. So you kind of have to share for them. That's what refugees are, unless they are like decide to be one of your citizens. So that's mean you have I mean they have legal protection because they are one of your uh, citizen. Okay, when it's not, that mean, well, how do I say it without, I mean, let's just say it like to the point. Okay, so they are just a leech, people who are leeching other people. Okay, just coming for your research without actually to be in your side. So they are the opportunists. You can say that. It's not that I say or I mention this to like every refugees existing. Okay, some refugees are much better than other, but the most common problem with the refugees are just like I mentioned, that they coming for a better life. The problem is that there's no guarantee we can provide them better life. Okay, let's continue from here. Okay, this one the porter will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. This the old problems that people been think about when talking about climate change. I mean the pollution is kind of unavoidable. Like this the day for industrial time where people making certain tools, machinery, ingredients, goods, or something else. There will be waste, there will be pollution, there will always be. Okay, it's unavoidable. The problem is that they should mention how to responsibly throw away this pollution somehow. Not only that, but if you, let us say, you pay for tax for the carbon emission tax for this, and well, like if you are making so much and the tax like so low, what's the point of putting this tax? Okay, like just it rarely even could be considered done. Like, okay, another thing that you must know about tax is that according to the book of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, they say that the company or corporation, they can they can actually buy whatever they want until they are satisfied. Then finally they will report their tax. Okay, which is not something you can done as personally or as a person. Okay, it's just cheating. Okay, just cheating the tax advantage. Not many people talk about this. No. So I'll let you know. Okay, okay, just continue from here. There will be global price on carbon. Okay, that's one of them. Okay, that's the let's go back a little bit. the part of help make fossil fuel history. Okay, this is how do I say it? It is good and bad at same time. The problem with fossil fuel is that it's the only energy that very well in the some kind of happy industry. Well, if you think about it, we do have solar panels, okay, but if you put a solar panel on a jet, how do you think fast it could fly? Like, yeah, that's what I mean. The speed of the jet wouldn't be that fast. So also the solar energy or the renewable energy, they need batteries, okay? So well, you could technically fly the jet on the man without the batteries. The problem is that when the jet going under the bridge and there will be shades, it suddenly crash. That would be nightmare. So the it needs batteries. Okay, the solar panels need battery, but battery is heavy and it adds weight to the plane. So the jet doesn't become jet anymore, or at least a slow jet. So you still call it jet? No, it's not a jet plane anymore. Also, I think so. They decide to keep using the fossil fuel at least for now until we find something better. I think if if I think it should be something like nuclear fuel, that's the closest we could get, okay? Because the military submarine they use nuclear inside it to generate power to move the submarine turbines. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, this part is I think this Elon Musk ambition to go to Mars. Okay, I mean it's not bad to dream big. Okay, but Mars. I mean, let us look from the easiest part about here. If you go to the Mars, the first thing you first have to think about where do you get oxygen? Okay, that's the first thing. I just say you manage to make some kind of how do I say greenhouse, something like that. Manage to generate oxygen enough for you to breathe. Okay, that's first. Second would be food. You can plan food according to the movie The Martian. Okay, you love that sci-fi movies, and that's just the second problem being fixed. Okay, what's the third problem? Well, in which part of the Mars is livable? That's I have to ask. Like, what if there's storm here? Like, what if this frequently storm here? What if here is not? What if here there's how do I say sand uh quicksand? Yeah, quicksand. So it will suck everything you built over here. Yeah, we don't know about that. Okay, so just a theory. Also, when I'm thinking about going to the Mars, well, it should be a place for people who at least own lots of money. But well, I think I must suitable to live back on the Earth. Okay, I mean I will clean the Earth from every single waste you're throwing here. I'm not going to the Mars. Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space. That's exactly one of the problem because the space is like your average Pandora box. There could be uh, hidden dangers. The solar rays, the unknown bacteria, and something else that we could count to begin with. That's the problem. Western Plan will have been tested to the breaking point. Well, I think as for this part, I think the only things I find about the Western Palu is that there will be more protests, more chaos, and more not diversity, but um, fragmentation. Yeah, fragmentation. That's what I mentioned. That people will become more individual. They will be more become more introverted. There will be less people talk. People will look at their phone everywhere, even at the eating table. Okay, that's sad. Check and balance that underpin our democracy must not be forgotten. That's good. That's good. The problem is that the practical in the field is not as good as the theories because well you see what happened to many nations today, right? Protests and protests and protests everywhere from the American soil to Europe to Asian, everywhere you see a protest. So the problem is that this part of check and balance democracies is hard. It's hard, especially when people were not or refuse to be educated about how important a democracy were. They just, I mean, oftentimes, how many people you see in the election that they just give their vote for people who look good, not even knowing what they are, what their history were, what their achievement was, nothing. They just vote based on look good. As for my experience with voting, my God, they give me choice between the bad and the worst and the worst. Oh, it's like comparing a trash to garbage to litter. They are the same. There is no difference in that. Why would I vote if I hope legislators and yeah chaos follow? So I rather not vote for anything like that. Okay, that's for the end of the video. Um, so this is it's just me rambling about the recent talk about the things about the latest condition of the new year, 2026, and I had to see we are heading into a direction that we kind of disdain of it. So I will stop the video for today. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time. See you later.